Sagittarius, hello and welcome to your Astroflower reading for the Pluto going from Capricorn into Aquarius. I did do a collective reading on that where I go into a lot more detail on Pluto and what the situation is and how we can see it in the past and loads of things. And we did a collective reading, which was really interesting. Yes. Just to break it down simply, as Pluto was going through Capricorn, it was a tendency to do that, break things down, to see the, take things back to the bone, see things for the nuts and bolts for how things work, and then starting to do things. And if it doesn't work, take it back to the beginning, starting again, redoing, constantly redoing, basically. So the mechanics becomes very obvious to everybody, be it good or bad. So, when when Pluto came in Capricorn, that was in 2008, and that was the banking system collapse. Now, I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel that we haven't really learnt our lessons, and we're trying to put things into place, which is exactly the same sort of scenario, but electrical, currencies. And, until we've learnt those lessons, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. And if we don't want to see the truth, then that's going to be difficult, because that's what happens in Aquarius. When Pluto goes into Aquarius, this is where it's all to do with family, community, friends, groups, basically, humanity. But it's also to do with creativity. And that creativity can be in business as much as it can be in through art, as much as it can be in emotions and relationships. Being creative about how you create life as we go along. And this is going to sort of shine a light on the finer details of the emotional side of being true to our emotions. So I liken sort of Aquarius to John the Baptist. I don't know if that's a real word. I can't even, my brain just can't even compute it. I don't know why. But liken Aquarius to John the Baptist. It's the water bearer. So he's standing above the river. He's sort of saying a prayer. That's the air sort of side, the intentions. And then he's washing the person down. And that's what Aquarius does. And I think this is what it's doing in the collective, in the emotions. And some of it is going to be difficult for us, obviously. But it's also what I was talking about with the logical evolution, which I've been talking about for the past year. And I was sort of saying, people get ready. People get ready. There's a train a-coming. And that's what's happening. The train is here. We are moving into the age of Aquarius. The train is here. And it's a learning process about how to put our emotions correctly in place. Having control over your emotions doesn't mean that you don't show any emotions. That is not control. That is just suppression. Okay? Control over your emotions means, like, when you're supposed to be happy, be happy. When you're angry, be angry. But don't be angry because you feel like you're losing a discussion, for example. This is where we've got to be a little bit more humble, a little bit more pensive of the collective, of the group of people that are around us. And this takes into every aspect, financial as much as sort of spiritual. Okay, so basically that's what the transition is all about. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do a reading to see how it flows for you and how you get the best out of this Pluto in Aquarius, rather than it giving you a smack around the face with a wet fish. Okay, let's have a look. Overall energies here. This is the karmic path for your spiritual side or your emotional side. This is the karmic path for your material side. This is how the universe is influencing it. This is how Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn has been influencing you. And this is how Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius is trying to influence you. And this is the general outcome. Okay, so let's just have a look and see what the overall energy is. Regrouping. I think more than anything else. Holding on too tightly? No, I don't think it's that at all. I really don't think. I think you've, we'll see with these two cards here, Capricorn. I think you've learned to let go of a lot. But here on the overall energy here, I think it's you being very smart. I think the overall energy here is sort of it's a real sort of red light, green light scenario. There's no sort of flashing amber or anything like that. There's no middle ground here. And I think this is what the overall energy is bringing you. Very sort of tight and precise energy and messages and sensations that, you know, quintessentially you should be following. On your karmic path, yeah, you should be following. You being you, Sagittarius. This is very much, for me, a Sagittarian card with the horse and all of that. And the Knight of Wands now has understood how to use your passion in life. And this is where I talk about control over your emotions as well. You know how to use this passion. Now you're going ahead and it's your karmic mission within your relationships, within your community, within your spiritual path, to take that on, that understanding, and start applying your passions in a very just way, which is going to bring you a lot of security in your life. And this will mean a lot of socializing, being very buoyant, being very celebrity. Well, it could be for some of you, but celebratory, that's the word I wanted, sort of energy here. And I think you could really play it well. I think it could be really good for you. Almost being the authority of pleasure. Not pleasure. Well, yeah, it could well be pleasure, but, you know, of passions more than else, more than anything else. So your karmic mission during Aquarius is to apply that as in almost lawfully. You know, it's all to do with securing your pathway. The universe is bringing you victories. I think you so deserve this, Sagittarius, actually. Because I've been doing your readings now for, you know, 2 or 3 years or whatever. And, you know, you've gone through a lot. And I think the universe here is almost giving you that crown as if to sort of say, if you've made it this far, Sagittarius, you are going to be, you know, you're going to be in a position where you're going to understand the victories of what you've been through in life on your spiritual path. It's a crowning of your, you know, your spiritual sense of justice and well-being. That's what I get from it. From the universe is trying to sort of say, and look, you are right. Yes. And it's going to fuel that. You know, that side of it. What has Pluto in Capricorn brought you? King of Cups is actually brought you peace of mind. Yeah, but peace of mind, let's just say you've got a lot of things going on in your life. There's got a lot of administration. You've got to do a lot of paperwork. You've got to, you know, look after the house, the kids, the dog. You've got a lot of things going on in your life. And it may be overwhelming. But once you've dealt with it, that's when you bring in the peace. And I think this is what Capricorn, certainly over the last 2-3 years, where it really came into the essence of it, really helped you to examine on a spiritual front and on a relationship front and all of those sort of things, what was really working, you know, and what was just causing you stress. And you've managed to get like out of it. I think you've come out of it. I think the learning process that came out of Capricorn was how to have things in a balanced situation. So you can actually find that sort of plain sailing. And it's a lot of work that you've done on yourself. And you should recognize that. And I think that's what the universe is recognizing within you as well. Let's just see what Aquarius is bringing you. Happiness. 'Cause I'm happy. You know, it's just bringing you happiness. It's also bringing you, I think, I said celebrity earlier on, and I get a little bit of a feeling of that. I get like, it's like people are sort of recognizing, kind of going, Sagittarius, man. You know, they've been through loads, they've done loads, they've confronted it honestly, and, you know, really hats off. And just look at them now. And I think it brings through Aquarius, it brings through that whole sort of John the Baptist, whole sort of washing down away of our shortcomings of the past. And it's now given you, you know, a fresh start, a clean slate. And it's going to make you really happy, because you're going to only, or you should be, especially with that on your karmic path, only enforcing things that make you feel happy. Because I'm happy. I've only got that song in my head now. What's the overall outcome? 9 of Swords. Now, this doesn't sit at all with the rest of that, obviously. I think this is what you got rid of. I think this is what the overall outcome is the end of a repeating scenarios that causes you stress and strain and sleepless nights. It's almost as if like you're going to beat this down. You're going to really knock it on its hind legs, as if to sort of say, I'm not going through that anymore. And because it's a real revelation that you seem to be going through. I still think you're going to worry about everyone and everything. That's almost what Sagittarius does a little bit. Worry about everything and everyone, you know, and it's very nice. But at the same time, the world's a much better place when you're in a good place. So, you know, I think that's what the revelation out of this whole sort of thing. It's almost as if you're sort of like waking up, kind of sort of saying, why was I worried about all of that? That's the feeling I get from it. And it could be the fact that, you know, for some of you, it may well be that you're holding on to something too tightly, and that's what's still causing you the stress and strains. But I don't think it's like that for the majority of people. But the reason being is because so much is pushing you in one direction. And I don't know any One Direction songs, but pushing you in one direction. And it's certainly very buoyant and happy and joyous that the only things I can see about these two cards here are either warning cards or much more precision cards. So giving you a certain precision in your life. On your karmic path, on your financial side, you get the Magician. The Magician has all the elements on the table there. And I think this is what Capricorn has brought you, the idea of seeing things as individual compartments, so you can then really make the recipe of life in regards to your financial, your job, your business. You know, say like if you've got a job and there's certain aspects of the job that you're much stronger at, and some aspects that you're not so strong at. And so as you make your cake, you know, and you introduce the things that you're strong at, and have the subtleties of what you're not necessarily strong at, so you can then continually learn and progress and get better at whatever you want to do within your material world. You know, and it's on your cards to create, basically. And that's what I was talking about, Aquarius being creative. The universe here has brought you the 8 of Cups, allowing your curiosity. I think this is where, you know, with Pluto in Capricorn, I think it's a real changing of a moment. And here as well, I think you can crush this enormously, or crush the fear of going off on a journey. I think you've accomplished a lot within your life, and it's ready to sort of say, I now want to explore other avenues, because I've done that and I've been around every bit of it. And now I want something new to sink my teeth into, and that's what the creation thing is all about. The Magician. You know, let's just see what's going on for what did Capricorn bring you in Pluto. Or did, you know, Pluto brought you through Capricorn. The Hierophant. This is really good. You've almost got like the master of emotions on your emotional and spiritual sort of side. And the Hierophant is it's like a priest in a way, the Hierophant. But the Hierophant also knows the steps that you need to take in order to get to the dreams of what you want. And this is as much as energetically as physically repetitive, rhythmical, being on time, that sort of thing, respecting sort of situations, respecting divisions and stuff like that. And when I mean divisions, say like respecting people doing, say like the transport for your business, people who are doing the command, you know, the making up the orders for your business. Whatever it is, it's like, you know, recognizing that each compartment has its strengths and everything like that. And here, I think, with the Hierophant is that whole sort of knowing that process of how to get what you want and the steps you need to take in order to get there. That's what I think you should know within you. That's what you should have picked up over the last sort of 2 or 3 years, as difficult as it might have been as a journey. You know. So let's see what Aquarius brings for you in your... The Devil in the detail. Yeah, this is where the moral compass comes into play, I think. And this is where I think the overall energy plays into a sense where you're not just going to give away your time, money and effort and energy into something that you don't believe in. And regardless of what the goals are that you believe in and stuff like that, or the morals of what you believe in, you know, that you're your own judge of that. But if you feel it right, then it's going to be right. And that's what the Devil card brings you. It brings you the attention to detail, the obsessiveness in a way, and the attention to detail. I don't find there's anything bad that comes your way. But the thing is, when you do get success, you will have people who don't want you to have that success because they want your success. You know, that sort of thing. And it's that doesn't hold water in the future time of Aquarius, because we're going into Aquarius. It doesn't hold water. It doesn't fit anymore with the collective that we are. And I think, in a way, with you being obsessive about the detail, it's going to bring that to the surface so we can let go of it collectively. And it's an important role you're playing here in the collective. A very important role you're playing in the collective. It's almost like you are a signpost that people can... That sounds really horrible, I know. But it's like you're a signpost that people can come to Sagittarius, and you can turn around and kind of go, there it is. And people are going to be so grateful. Because, you know, a lot of people are running around like headless chickens. And it seems to be that sort of authority that you have within the material world. And it's going to... I think it's going to play dividends for you. Yeah, look at that. Judgment. I think this judgment also plays in with that. I think that's what you're letting go of, because you're also getting into that time of judgment. It becomes so crystal clear about what you should be doing. I think this is in this curiosity that you're walking towards something new, a new understanding. It brings you to a much higher level within your life in regards to the material world, business and projects and so forth. You are answering to a calling that is far greater than money. And this is what I've been talking about it for ages, that respect will become a much higher currency than money itself. And I think that's going to be more and more true in the future. Because as much as the internet has exploded with loads of people saying loads of different things and a lot of them not being true, it's making the truth stand out even more. So it's like you've got a box of yellow beads, yeah, and there's one red bead in there, and that's the truth. And when you look at the box, you kind of go, it's just so obvious to see the red bead now because there's loads of yellow beads. That's exactly what I sort of mean. You know, that is what's happening. As much as it may seem very, very confusing, if you feel it and sense it, you will know the answer so quickly. And that's where your calling is, I think, within the material world. Right, let's get on and let's do a bit of clarifications with the Light Seers card. I hope you get the best out of these readings, by the way, Sagittarius. Really do. Love doing them. Yeah, I'm not doing the weeklies anymore. It just seems so short-termism, and I don't think that's the future. I'm moving into much more sort of longer term sort of readings and very particular readings, so like conjunctures of sort of planets and maybe solar activities as well. Next weekend you've got your monthly reading for February. So yes, thank you for being here, and I hope you get the best out of these readings. With the Four of Pentacles, you get the Seven of Wands. This is all about you knowing you. And I think this is what the overall energy is trying to say to you here. And the energy is going to help you follow your pathway. But you have to follow it. You can't be distracted. You can't allow your bubble to be burst by the outside world. As you can well see there, there's one there that's trying to burst your bubble. And I wouldn't sort of entertain that. I would really follow what is true to you within you, because that is what is going to be the overall abiding energy through Aquarius. Okay, and you being you is creating that sort of pathway that sort of comes forward. Look at that. I think you're going to love it. I think your karmic message is to, through that passion and using your passion in a way that brings a bit of order and security and joy and happiness around you, because of that order and security, helps you to fall in love, not only with yourself, but with the collective, with everyone that is around you. It's absolutely brilliant. It's really nice. You've got that within you, Sagittarius. You've got that within you, and you've just got to let it flow. And when you do, the world will be in a greater place, will really be in a greater place. Okay? With the Ace of... Yeah, I think this is where the universe, as I said before, I think the universe is recognizing the good work you've done. This is a whole new period in your life. This is a whole new period in the stars. This is Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is finally coming in 2024. It's finally settled definitively. And here is that new cycle. And it's going to be a very victorious one, that you're going to feel totally crowned in your own glory in a way. That's what the universe is trying to bring into you. And it's on your karmic path to take it and live it. There's no doubt about it. Falling in love with not only with the world that is around you, but also falling in love with yourself. And that's why I think that Nine of Wands there is a sort of like the end of something. Yeah, Capricorn, what's Capricorn brought for you? As I said, this emotional sort of stability within your life might have come through traumatic times as you went through Capricorn. But it's given you a real laser focus about your pathway. And this is... you're securing that pathway, and Capricorn is sort of saying, now you've got to go and live it. Be that pathway. Be that ultimate balanced, joyous person that you actually are, and engage with that in life. Okay? And so what's Aquarius bringing to this pathway, that you are standing really in your power? That's why I say there's a certain degree of authority in there, because that's where it comes there. The underlining thing is that authority within you. So, with the King of Cups and the King of Wands. Look at that. It's just, Anyway. The Sun. Two of Wands. Yeah, they could well be travelling. I think this is where... I think you're going out to meet people. That's what's happening here. And it could be a travelling along your own pathway, but I do think there's a major... something to be said about you travelling to meet people, to connect with people. Because you want to. Because you want to experience that. It's like going, sort of saying, okay, well, I'm going to go off to India and, experience that Hindu colour festival where they throw colour pigment all over everyone. And it's really beautiful. I want to go and see it. I want to be part of it. Not necessarily see it. I want to be part of it. And this is what I think comes up for you. And this is where your happiness should be that driving force for anything you're planning in the future. If it's going to make you happy in regards to your spirit and your relationships and your emotions, do it. Okay, so what's this Nine of Wands all about? Nine of Swords, sorry. All about. Queen of Wands. I think you're going to be too busy. I think all this woes and worries that Capricorn would have brought you, because it would have brought you that. Capricorn's very heavy, you know. It reminds me of that song, "He's not heavy, he's my brother," sort of thing. But, you know, here it's sort of like your woes and worries have now turned into very much, look at this, you've got the Knight of Wands, you've got the King of Wands, and now you've got the Queen of Wands. I've just realised that. You know, you've got the whole royal family with loads of protection, and you seem to be the protection here. And it's letting go of all those, any sort of like nightmare scenarios have come to an end. You're confronting life in a completely different way, because you've got a lot of things going on. You're exploring life, and with this, you know, this is that control over your emotions in a way, which I was talking about in the first time round. You know, when you're happy, you're really happy. You're really focused on that happiness. Or when you're angry, you're really angry. You know, never obviously to harm anyone at all, but you know, only anger in truth, because the truth is not being respected. You know, someone's bending down into that box of yellow beads with only one red bead, picking out a yellow one and kind of going, yeah, that's a red one. You know, and kind of going, no, it's obviously not. That sort of anger. You know, it's very light anger. But what I'm trying to say here is that all of these little sort of lanterns there are the old, you know, the traveling, the meeting, the connecting with lots of different things, and being very, very sociable as you go through all of this. There's a lot of wands, actually. 2 of Wands, 7 of Wands, Knight of Wands, King of Wands, Queen of Wands. There's only 1 sword, no, 2 swords and 1 cup. And a couple of major arcanas. And a 4 of pentacles. But it's mainly wands. It's all to do with your passions, basically. With the... yes, we did get the Hierophant. Quite happy with this. Now you get the High Priestess. Now you've got the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands on the relationship and the emotional side of life, the spiritual side. You now get the High Priestess with the Hierophant. They are divine counterparts on a spiritual sort of sense. And this divine counterparts come together because you are using what what Pluto through Capricorn has brought you, and that's all how to separate all those elements together, which is what is on the table of the magician, to create something new. And this is where you can use a lot of your intuition, your inner feeling, your inner vision, all of those sort of things. It's really fine-tuning that laser focus, as I was talking about. You know, fine-tuning things for you to really take this. And judgment is this. Judgment is the Aquarius thing of baptism. You know, take away the religion and everything like that. You know, just the idea of baptizing is a judgment sort of thing. You're returning your higher calling. And this is going to ask for you to do this as well within your karmic path. Creating something new and using your inner vision and just doing that. Look at that. You're walking away from something, using your curiosity, as I said, sort of like in the Ace of Wands. This is really, really powerful. The impact you can have on your material world, on your career, the businesses that are around you, even if you don't work for a business, it's like sort of saying, I don't want to spend my money on that fast food restaurant that I don't particularly like. I'm going to go to this local sort of thing and spend my money there. That's, you know, that's what I mean about as well, as sort of like getting passionate and walking away and going into your curiosity, trying new things. You know, it's here is out with the old and in with the new. Walk away and walk towards something that is so much more sort of balanced and in alignment with who you are is really important. And Capricorn with the Hierophant has brought in the understanding, the steps that bring you to that point. It's also brought you, obviously, those, and I said it with this card here, and this card is a Capricorn card. So the Devil is a Capricorn card, and I talked about it sort of saying being really laser focused on the finer detail and calling things out and sort of saying, no, it's not, that's not what it is. You know, being straight with the situation. With the Hierophant here, you get the 9 of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is because you've got the Eight of Wands that have come through beforehand, which is all to do with communication, messages and stuff like that. You've understood the message from Capricorn. You've put those 8 wands, those messages in the ground, and they are your healthy boundaries that stop you from going back and repeating the same things, which then leads you ultimately to an evolutionary or ascension moment within you, within your material world, which is the Judgment card. And using those healthy boundaries to take that one wand off and go off on that journey is going to be absolutely brilliant for you. The Devil card. Now, this is in Aquarius as well. That finer detail. And I think Aquarius is going to help us to do that when we create things. Because when we create things, and that's what the Magician cards is all about, we've got to look at the nuts and bolts of how it works to create something. And then we can put in the colours we want to do, all the emotional sort of side of it. And here I think is just making sure you've got the mechanics in the right place. So then therefore you can then explore the emotional sides. Explore the emotional side in another way, which is totally that. The Two of Cups. I am so tough for you, Sagittarius. I know quite a few Sagittarians, and lovely people, and yeah, I want so much the best for them as well. But here is just ultimate joy here, because you've got the concentration on the finer details. Therefore, things work light and smoothly. It gives you the space and time then to come into alignment with who you are emotionally, spiritually. That's what the Two of Cups is about. And that is when you come into that alignment, and that's what Aquarius is bringing you. When you come into that alignment, that's when you get that Judgment card. And that Judgment card is just a calling to your higher self, a real ascension moment within this place. Turning all negative into positive. And I think, as I said, I think it was hard for you in Capricorn. When Pluto was in Capricorn, I think it was particularly tough over the past sort of like 2 or 3 years. It's made you confront a lot of things. And with that confrontation now, you have a lot more patience with yourself. You've got patient with this ascension moment. But it's also, you've turned negative into positive, from night into day. And you're resting on the day. You're leaning towards the day, which is what the Eight of Cups is all about. Is walking away from those 8 cups, walking more towards, because the moon is covering the sun here, and it's gradually revealing the sun, which has sparked your curiosity, and you want to go after that sunshine, that happiness, which we can see there, which is going to be a lot of traveling on your spiritual path. And here is the same thing. The overall energy, or the backing up energy, or the undercurrent energy that's flowing through this evolutionary or ascension moment for you, is leaning towards that sun, going after that happiness within your life. And it's being patient about it, because it is a massive virtue for you. Absolutely brilliant reading. Really loved it, Sagittarius. Really enjoyed that reading. I hope you got the best out of these readings. I really do. I really do appreciate all the support you give to this channel. I answer all messages, regardless, on this channel. So yes, just for your interaction and everything like that, and showing your support, is absolutely brilliant. I will see you for your monthly readings next weekend. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.